In a few hours' time, England will start its group stage campaign in the 2022 World Cup, starting with a game against Iran. That meant one thing for me personally. I had to dig deep in my wardrobe to find the 1966 retro Bobby Moore jersey. And I did find it. It was so unused for such a long amount of time, it still has a lot of creases in it and I need to iron it. Well, one thing is for sure. This is going to probably bring me some good luck. I wore this during Euro 2021 and England got to the final, so anything could happen. This shirt is my good luck charm whenever England plays. Now, England's starting off the group stage against probably the lesser of its two other opponents. I am nervous about playing the USA. I'm nervous about playing Wales. Iran, I think we will win if we stick to our guns and play this game mentally rather than physically. I want this England team to play with its head a lot more and use its smarts in the game a bit more. But also that comes down to the manager. I want Southgate to be able to put out a team that has balance. And what that might mean is you don't throw all your big guns on at the start, not in a game against Iran. But you bring on the more attacking players in the second half where you just want to make things a little more comfortable. There has been a little bit of team news before the game started. It's highly likely that Jordan Pickford's going to start in goal. No mistakes there, really, in terms of selection. I believe that Maguire and Stones are partnering each other in defence. Rice and Bellingham are on the pivot. And with Harry Kane starting up top. I'm not sure about the other positions, really. There's a lot of room to chop and change. Still, that's up to the manager. He can redeem himself for the Euros by showing that he knows how to get the best out of these players. These players have been playing very well at club level. What he needs to do is get them to blend together and make things happen internationally. I am still not convinced that Southgate knows his best 11. I'm still not convinced that he knows how to get the best out of players such as Foden and Saka. And I have a feeling Declan Rice is going to be the outstanding player for England this tournament. He just does it week in, week out anyway. We know what he does at West Ham. It needs no detail. Let me talk about Iran. Iran's under the leadership of Carlos Queiroz, who used to be Alex Ferguson's assistant manager at Manchester United. He is also Iran's most successful manager. He's the only manager in the country's history to lead them to 2 consecutive World Cups. He initially managed Iran from 2011 to 2019, had spells at Colombia and Egypt, and is now back as the head coach of Iran. He's also managed the South African national team, Real Madrid, and the United Arab Emirates. Since he returned to Iran, he's won 2 of his 3 games. And in his first spell, he managed 100 games and had a 60% win rate. In other words, he won 60 games as Iran head coach in the first 8-year spell. Iran has become a big powerhouse in the Middle Eastern football. And a few players are going to be spoken about. Goalkeeper Alireza Bayramvand has the world record for world's longest throw. He threw a ball 61 metres, I think it was. I think it was 61 metres or 61 yards, something like that. I don't know the exact measurement, but he threw it basically from his own box to nearly the other box. Can you imagine if Harry Maguire gets his big fat head on the end of that and we end up scoring an own goal? I don't want to jinx it, but, you know. And actually, a Premier League player plays for Iran. Salman Ghoddos, who plays for Brentford, is in the team. Another name that you might be familiar with is Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh, who played for Brighton. When he signed for Brighton in 2018, there was a lot of hype because previously he'd scored 21 goals in 33 games for AZ Alkmaar. Injuries ruined his time at Brighton. He only scored 2 goals in 50 appearances. He's now back in the Eredivisie playing for Feyenoord. And had a good start there, but nothing much has come of it. Sardar Azmoun, who I wrote an article about for Green Street Hammers. He is the second most expensive Iranian player of all time. Whilst he was at Zenit St. Petersburg, this guy got European attention. He scored 52 goals in 79 games for Zenit, But since he joined Bayern Leverkusen, he hasn't replicated those figures. And I now do apologise for wanting him at West Ham. We were probably right not to go after him. A lot of the Iran players play in Turkey or Greece. So they're opponents as well as teammates. If you remember Iran from the World Cup, I believe that in 1998, the team featured and had the word Iran written across the front of its jerseys. Does anyone remember that? That's just what I've heard. Tell me. What do you remember about Iran in the World Cup? Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to sub for more content. I've got to be up in a few hours to watch this, so I'm going to go to bed. And I'll see you all very soon. Night night me.